I was in the legislature for 52 years, chairman of criminal justice. I've been to many, many cadet graduations, but I want you to know this is the first time I've got to address an active cadet class. I've always wondered why y'all were not more provided for in the police contract. I work with HPOU and the other employee groups, and I'll say, why do the cadets, most of them, in fact, I could do a show of hands, but I know most of you probably took a salary cut to become a cadet. $42,000 is not much to ask someone to spend as much time away from their families. Many of you relocate. So I went to work on it. So I can either tell you why I wanted to be here in person versus you reading about it in the press or getting it from the command staff. And I don't know whether to tell you now because I'm not through talking to you, or wait and tell you at the end that you're going to get a $10,000 raise while you're in the academy. You'll get that $10,000 raise immediately. Then when you get out and you're certified by TCLOS, you get your $5,000 incentive. That is still not appropriate for your commitment to public service, to put your life on the line. But it is a start in the right direction to let men and women across this state, this nation, and this great city to know we want you to become a Houston police officer. I've been with police officers in the best of days and the worst of days, but always it's a dedicated group of individuals, not always classes as diverse as the one I'm standing there looking at. I came out of Waltrip High School, Northwest Houston, in 1968, middle class, Anglo community. That's where the officers came from. So I have watched the transition of the department to become one that represents the diversity of Houston and this great nation. So I'm here today to let you know that thank you. And I will be glad to answer any questions. And I know the discipline y'all are practicing while you're in the academy. I watch you at the graduation. I just saw a little sample of it. But if your instructors would allow, and I think they kind of work for the mayor, but I'm still pretty new in this job, I'd be glad for any one of you, a representative of you, or individually stand up and say, Mayor, thank you, or Mayor, this is what we suggest. I want you to know you can feel comfortable around me. I'm not one of the politicians that comes around for photo ops. I'm not running for office today. I'm here to thank you. I'm your partner. I know for a fact the citizens of Houston appreciate your commitment. It's a huge commitment. And I'll be back before you when you graduate. I'll say a word. I'll thank your families for doing such a fine job of raising you. So I could be at 100 places right now, but this is where I wanted to be. I could put out a press release, which we will, to let Houstonians know our show of commitment by raising your salary. You're going to be excited to work for the command staff. You couldn't have a better chief. There's a lot of good chiefs, but this individual is going to back you up. I've worked with him for over 20 years. Smart, dedicated. You follow the law and follow your training, this chief and this mayor will back you up. We want you to get involved. There is, unfortunately, across the nation, law enforcement is afraid, often afraid to get involved, often afraid to do their job. I know for a fact that there's some chatter in the Austin Police Department, understaffed, under-resourced, got a very aggressive DA that sometimes goes to lengths to what he would say hold officers accountable. They do their job, followed the law, their training, they're getting in trouble in Austin. So what's the chatter among officers? Just drive on by, don't get involved. That model doesn't work, folks. The model we want in Houston is law enforcement. Protect the public, protect yourself, your family. And I'll even go a step further. I've been wanting to say this to a group of officers, and certainly cadets, it's appropriate. When you pull somebody over, I believe it's your duty to treat that person like a family member. And there's going to be fools, going to be some violent people, people with mental health issues, people on drugs. You're going to have to use force to protect yourself and the public. But in every instance that you can use, when you pull somebody over for a DWI, that's your drunk brother. It's your duty to see that they get home safe as you protect the public, but treat people the way you'd want to be treated. I don't know the circumstances yesterday in Miami before the football game when they pulled over a star a block from the stadium. Sure don't look right, but I don't know what exchanges took place before pulling over. But those several officers that gathered there real quick, I think would have been wise to protect themselves, the public, but treat that person like it was a family member. Have an opportunity to let him say, hell, I'm the ball player. I'm a block from the stadium. I'm not trying to create a problem. Now, you know, Whitmire's talking about something he knows very little about. In that circumstances, there could have been hand language. There's no telling what could have. There's always the rest of the story. But all I'm saying is, I've been wanting to say to my longtime HPD friends, you know, things would go a lot better if you treat somebody that you're having to deal with like it's a brother or cousin or somebody that might be acting like a fool, but it's really your duty to see that they get home safe. So with that said, I'm not expecting any one of y'all to ask me a question, but I sure wish someone would step up to the plate, because this is what I need to know. What's it take to get more recruits? And I'm going to answer this gentleman's question in a minute, but I need y'all to be recruiters for me. Historically, and I told you I came out of Waltrip in '68, very Anglo, male-dominated department at the time. So I've watched it transition, and historically, fire and police, the recruits came through the recruiting of the officers. Their family members, their neighbors, their cousins, they would recommend. We've kind of gotten away from that. So I'm looking at some recruiters today. I want you to leave here fired up. I'll see you at the graduation, but then do the community and yourself a favor. Go recommend somebody else join this fine organization, because the better days are in front of us. And someday I hope one of you will aspire to be a commander, a chief. It's the most, you'll find out. I've been a public servant my whole life. I started at 22 as a college student, knocking doors, got elected to the legislature. There's no more rewarding experience that you're soon to experience than to help somebody in need. You know, you won't get rich doing that, but you sure as heck are going to feel good about yourself and the world, and the public's going to appreciate it. You indicated you want to ask a question, sir?
Cadet Hernandez, sir. Not a question, but on behalf of Class 267 and all future cadets, we just want to say thank you for working hard for us. We know whenever you got in office, you started working really, really hard for us, and thank you for representing as well.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, and I'll thank y'all, and then I'm going to go back to work. I'll be glad to yield to the chief. And we have a great city, great people, but we do have challenges, same challenges that most major cities in America have. Public safety is a challenge, but we're going to make a difference in Houston. I was going to work this morning, and a resident in the Heights I've known for some number of years said her brother staying with her's car was stolen last night. And she said hers was stolen last year. I said, well, I think most of us in Houston either personally or know someone that's been affected by some theft and sometimes violent offenses. So we got, bottom line is, we do have plenty of work for y'all, okay? Not a shortage of the need for more responsible law enforcement. I ask you to collaborate with the other agencies. One way we're going to do a force multiplier is we're going to have the constables and the sheriff's office and the DPS back y'all up. But it's going to be my job also to get you the resource. This raise today will be helpful, but the department will negotiate a new contract next year. And I'll be the same mayor at the negotiating table looking out for you and the citizens of Houston that I am today. So that, I'm darn pleased to be here. Chief, I'm honored and appreciate, one, that you're willing to come and lead this great department, but also for your friendship, and I'll yield to you.
Thank you. I want to thank first Mayor John Whitmire. I'm here because of him, because of his vision. It was easy for me to transition because leadership matters, and no one's going to have the resume. So for us, this is a once-in-a-generation mayor for the police department and the fire department as well. So if you are going home tonight, call your brothers, call your cousins, your family, your neighbors. This is an outstanding organization, and even if they want to be firefighters, we're public safety, we're still brothers. Ask them, we have shortages, but know that this business is about people, and it's always going to be people. The mayor said everything I was going to say that was in writing, right? So know that we're working for you. From 1200 Travis, we love you, and our focus is on you when you get out into the field, because you guys are the next generation of this community. I've said that to you before, and I mean it. You're going to go into these communities, be kind to the community, and the community will be kind to you. And it's just that simple. There's no secret sauce of the police business, but like the mayor said, go treat everybody like your family, and that'll be a success. As far as I'm concerned, you've already won because you're on this path. You started, you're here, and I appreciate what you're doing. And if you need anything through this process, make sure that you get with your counselors, your counselors, and make sure that we can help you. And remember to be kind to each other here, because you're going to make friends for life, right? So hopefully you guys will be here in 20, 30 years, and you'll remember this, that the mayor came to visit with you, and is focused on making the police department what it should be, the #1 police department in the nation. Everything should start here. We have the talent here, and I look forward to serving you and continuing to serve you, as does the command staff. Mayor, thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And one last thing, I know there's a concern about your retirement. I was in the legislature when we passed the drop, which had, instead of losing someone after 20 years, they'd go into a deferred retirement plan. It was very expensive. They did away, they modified it. They actually did away, but we're going to modify it and bring it back so you don't have to look at 20 years and say, well, I'll start my HPD retirement and go do the sheriff's office or another occupation. I want you to be senior officers if you haven't become a commander, and so you can have a life plan of being a public servant and a Houston police officer. Thank y'all. I'm going to shake everybody's hand before I get out of here. Then I got to go to work. Thank y'all.